The same as social media. When people take mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. Okay, we live. If you tuned in, you're not tired of seeing me, I'm gonna keep making my live videos. I actually like doing these. So I will do these as I find the time throughout the next month or so. So today I want to talk about survivor's guilt or survivor's remorse. My bad, survivor's remorse. Somebody commenting at the same time. So basically, survivor's guilt is when somebody experiences a traumatic event and they have these after effects, like they start to feel um, stress and other type of emotions because they survived the event and somebody else died. And these these particular uh, emotions, they can be evoked from anything. Sometimes you go back to the event in your mind. Sometimes things take you back to the event. You could a certain smell could take you back to something, or maybe a certain phone call, or something can happen in your new life that could make you flash back to this incident or this particular time in your life that you start to feel. For sure. Something like COVID, with the way that COVID did everybody, you could feel survivor's remorse or survivor's guilt from actually having overcame it when so many people died, and you start to feel bad for these people that didn't make it, and you actually feel stressed out and you feel overwhelmed by the emotions from surviving, and it's a show on it. It's about a basketball player, and you can have survivor's remorse or survivor's guilt from surviving your past life. You can have it from being in the hood is traumatic. Growing up in the neighborhood where you hearing gunshots every night, people dying, you losing friends young, and so much struggle and so much negativity that it's a traumatic event. We've made it to where it's so common that we normalize it, but it is. What's up, Weezy? I can't see who it is because it's a Facebook user, but what's up, Weezy? So you go through these events, and once you get on the other side, you feel so bad for the people who actually died. And in my case, if anybody is familiar with my history, I've been in the streets all my life, and I've technically made it out the streets. I have an education now, and I have a pretty good career, you know, trajectory looking good for me. Everything is, kind of lined up for me, and I'm doing okay for myself. But you have people doing way better, and you have people that went through way more. And it's a situation like the young lady who helped her mom put her siblings in the refrigerator. So when you go through something like that, and the mom came on, I watched a documentary about this situation, and the daughter explained her side of the story, and the mom came on and said, how could you say that? How could you say this? How could you say that? Yeah, I did what I did, but how could you say this? And those type of incidents could lead to you literally forgetting what happened. Those type of incidents could lead to you when you feel real trauma, you start to drop certain things from your memory because it's so hard to go back to that space. It's so hard to think about something. So if you were a kid and you saw your friend get stabbed or shot right next to you, that's not something you want to replay in your head for 30, 40, 50 years. So you may remember certain things about that, and it could go the other way around to where you remember everything about that. That's not why I'm making this live. Why I'm making this live is to help you actually understand that type of thing. So in the context of being from the hood and having gone through certain things, you can go through these things and you get on the other side and you feel bad for the people who didn't make it to the other side. Same thing with you, Nova. So we have these type of attitudes where you get people like family members. If you were in the same predicament they were in, they are more likely to harness some type of hate, some type of ill feelings towards you. I don't want to make it to where everything is about being jealous, but I've seen it to where people really do great for themselves after being victims of violent crimes or victims of even prison or something like that, to where you spent a certain amount of time being traumatized, whatever that trauma is. It could be violence, it could be abuse in a relationship, it could be abuse in your home growing up, it could be a drunk father who beat on you, or is women or men who've been molested, and they overcome these situations, and the people around them start to get these uh all bad feelings and start to dog them to other people, and they really, like, it's not even their fault. So that's why I'm making this particular live stream, because it's not their fault, and it's not your fault that you made it out either. This is where accountability comes in. The person who didn't make it has to take full accountability for not making it, if they're alive to take accountability. Now, I'm not talking about people who's died. That's some things that we can't control. I'm talking about the people who are still going through the trauma, or people who have let the trauma affect their lives so much that they can't get past the trauma, and they start to blame other people around them for still being stuck in that same position. So there is no matter what you're trying to do, accountability is the first step. If you are in a place that you don't want to be in, you have to take accountability and say, I have messed up, because nobody else is going to pull you out of wherever you are, mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever. Nobody else. You can go see ET. Once again, I love ET. You can go watch ET, and he can give you all these powerful words, and he can say, you gotta want it like you want to breathe. You gotta, you in there, and you emotionally pumped up for that hour or two, whatever he's talking to you, and you can let those emotions fill you with the adrenaline, and you get hyper. But once you leave that room, you still have to do the work. So you can start saying that somebody's successful who started at the same place you are because of luck. You can say somebody's successful because they cousin is such and such, and they had these connections, and they knew this, and they whatever. But it's not the case. The case is you. I have no connections. I didn't know anybody at Wayne State nowhere. I had no connections going into anything that I've been into, music, whatever. I had no real connections. I knew some people that were doing it, but I didn't have any connections. Like, I know guys who make beats, like, but they wasn't making beats for Yo Gotti. I knew guys who shot videos or who did other things, but nobody was making it. And I did my thing and I didn't look for people that were making it, because I was that confident in my talent that I say I can get the type of things that I want, and I can build certain people up, and it's okay. We can build together. But you watch people talk about other successful people, and this is very prevalent amongst the Black community. We talk about other successful people, and we say, oh, they're only successful because of this. They're only doing good because of this. It could be entertainers, it could be sports players, it could be somebody that's from your neighborhood that went to school and got a doctorate. They're somewhere using their doctorate. They're practicing in somebody's whatever. And you start to think that, well, I would have did that too. If no, you could do that. So survivor's remorse is not something that you should feel every day and feel bad about it, because that could drag you down, and you could feel like you have to constantly give back, and you can only give back so much. You can only give back what you have. So you could not enjoy your life because you're always thinking about the people that didn't make it. Once again, that could be death, which is the technical term for survivor's guilt, is actually surviving a traumatic incident where people die. But In this instance, we're talking about actually making it out of the hood or making it out of your circumstances. And the people who were in the same position you were in, looking at you envious or hateful, spiteful, and they're looking at you like, well, you're only there because of this. Don't let that get you down. You can't let that get you down. Life is all about my entire hood in prison, and I stay in the suburbs. Okay. Let me read some of these in prison. That's it. So if your hood in prison, bam. So everybody make decisions. We're all grown. Every day we wake up, we have a decision. You can decide what time you want to wake up. I don't care what kind of phone you got. It got an alarm on it. You can decide what time you go to bed. You could decide everything in between because that's how life works. So you may not be able to sleep in the type of bed that you want to sleep in. You may not be able to sleep in the type of house you want to sleep in right now, but you have the power to change that. The decisions that you make all day is what changes your situation. So you cannot look at somebody that's successful and say, well, they only did that. No, no. If someone is successful, I don't care if they could drop one jewel on you. I read Rick Ross's book, and Rick Ross is very successful in any sense of the term. He's a very successful musician. He's a very successful businessman. And I read his book, and the fact that he was a corrections officer, it did nothing for me as far as reading the book. It did nothing to make me belittle the fact that he's found success in a lot of things. He talked a lot about um, how he pictured things. And he was saying that even when he didn't have, he was homeless and he was sleeping in his truck. And one of his producers or one of his label heads had gave him a Rolex. And he said he wore that Rolex to every single session he was in because he was writing for a lot of people. And he said he wore his Rolex and he drove his nice car up. And he said people didn't know that he was sleeping in his car. And the fact that people didn't really understand what it took for him to get there. He said, forget the fact that I was a corrections officer. Look at everything in between the correction officer and actually finding success. You find grind. And he even talked about Trick Daddy. And he said that Trick Daddy was always in the hood because he made music for the hood. Everything he talked about was for the hood. And he said, I've always talked big money shit. So even when I didn't have it, I spoke it into existence. The power of the mind is very, very, very unlimited. The power of the tongue is very, very, very unlimited. So when you put the two together, your thoughts become your things, and your things become actions, and actions become habits, and that go on. But if you could stop negative thoughts in your mind, whether it be about yourself or whether it be about others, then you can progress in life, because the talking yourself down, it comes in a lot of different forms. Talking yourself down could actually come from you overanalyzing something and you picking out everything that could go wrong, and you decide not to do something and not to make the next move. Talking yourself out of something could actually stop you from doing anything, because as long as you're talking yourself out of something, you will talk yourself out of everything. You will talk yourself out of everything, because a positive speech to yourself every morning, if you wake up and you give yourself a positive mantra, I can do it. It's nothing. It's another day. It's another chance to be great. It's another chance at life. Let's go out here and make something happen. We still winning. People didn't even understand what I was doing with the we still winning. So when I made we winning, I was getting a little taste of a couple dollars. Man, that was cool. And some things happened. My brother went back to jail. Some other things happened, and it slowed everything down that I had going on. Bam, stuff slowed down. So I found my own lane. I started doing my own thing. And I realized that I didn't really depend on anyone to make something happen because I've never had someone to help me make something happen. And that was a plus. A lot of people look at it as a negative. No, it was a plus because when everything around me started crumbling, I was able to pick myself up and make something happen. So by the time I made the song We Still Winning and I had the hashtag We Still Winning, it was because I was doing good and I fell off a little bit. It wasn't a long time. It was a few months to where things really slowed down for me. And I grinded out of that hole because I talked to myself. And by the time I got to the other side of that hole, I was able to say, no, we still winning. Yeah, this happened yesterday, but we still winning. Something may be happening today, but we still winning. We still winning. And we is my team. I didn't say I'm still winning. I said we. And my team could be one person today, depending on what I'm doing. And it could be something else the next day. You feel what I'm saying, Jovi? But Jovi, you carry that same attitude. That's why I vibe with you. I vibe with you because I see it. I don't never look and say, dang, Jovi ain't reached out. No, Jovi used to doing Jovi. I was on live talking about you the other day. Me and Nep needed a feature. But I catch it. I say when bro wants something, we gonna vibe. When we want to do something, we can do something because we got the same vibe. When you're used to handling your own, you handle your own. That's why you picked up on the camera. That's why you picked up on the beats. And it's the same way with Nep. That's why I get along with Nep. Because we're used to having to do for self. When people are spoon-fed or when people are taken care of in a certain way, they don't develop the same type of character that you develop when you got to get it out the mud for yourself. So by the time I'm saying we still winning, it's people watching me make a couple dollars and they taking it as some type of cocky thing when it's not about being cocky. It's about the fact that I go through things just like you go through things. I have struggles in my life the same way you struggle in your life. If you were in church, they'd say something, storms don't last long. Joy comes in the morning. God don't give you more than you can handle. All of these are things that you have to tell yourself to make it through whatever you're going through. But it's somebody else talking to themselves and saying, man, that don't even make sense. You can't do that. You don't know how to do that. How you gonna learn how to do that? You didn't even finish high school. How you gonna do that? So you got somebody that's constantly talking to themselves like that. You got somebody that'll actually pick up a book and say, nah, man, this on that positive shit. I'm gonna go read this hood novel. This on that, or even what they watch. Oh man, I don't watch that. I only want to watch Shoot 'em Up, Bang Bang, or what they listen to. I only want to listen to this, or I only want to do this. So you constantly feeding yourself all this negativity. Then you get around somebody with the positive vibe, and you start to feel like, man, they fake. Ain't nobody never this happy. Nah, or they only happy because they doing good, or they only happy. Nah, I'm happy when I'm down. You know what I'm saying? For sure, man. Bro, you always look out. That's what I was telling them. We can get Jovi every day. We gotta get verdict on something. I said, no, we need to get verdict on something. So we gonna get something. We got a bunch of music that we done, bro. So we gonna find something to send something over to you. I got some stuff that Net producing. That's just me. We definitely gonna work. But it's definitely like different, bro. When you are going through your struggle, how you talk to yourself makes the difference, man. We all go through struggles. My struggle was more than just prison. I've been to prison. I've been an adult for 20 years. I'm 38. I've been an adult for 20 years. I've been in prison about 12 and a half of those years, 13 years, close to 13 years of prison. I did about 9 in the state bit, and then I did 4 on a fed bit, including, it's about 13 years when you include the 6-7 months I was on tether, whatnot. So we go through all of these things and we look at everybody else struggle and say, yeah, they got through because of this. No, they got through because they talk to themselves different than you talk to yourself. How you talk to yourself makes a difference. So if you're talking to yourself while you're going through your struggle and you're saying, you can't do this, you ain't built for this, you not ready for this, you got too much going on to go back to school, you got this and that. Nah. Whatever you want to do, you sit down and plan that out and you go attack that. So for the person that's over there going through their struggle and they're looking at you going through your struggle and thinking that the struggle is different. Nah, the struggle the same. I just talk to myself different. I talk to myself different. You would never know if I got $100 in the bank or $100,000 because I'm going to talk to myself the same. I'm going to talk to myself the same way. I'm not dependent on money. That's why I'm not real flashy. I've never been like that because I'm not dependent on money to make me feel a certain way. I'm going to feel good regardless. Now, of course, if you don't have the money to do things that you want to do, you may be a little down. But even then, talk to yourself a certain way. Yeah, I don't got it today, but I'll get it tomorrow. If I can't get it this week, I'll get it next week. Sometimes next week turn into tomorrow because of how you talk to yourself. That's what your life is based on, how you talk to yourself. When you see people walk a certain way, it's because they talking to themselves. We keep looking down on confidence like it's something wrong with it. We keep talking about, oh, they arrogant, oh, they cocky, because of how they talk to themselves. I'm not ever talking down to myself to make somebody else feel better about themselves and the decisions they made. What's up, Mook? You feel me, Mook? I mean, I was in jail. I ain't never talked down to myself. I'm doing 9 years. I'm 18 years old. I'm looking at a 9-year bit. I ain't talking to myself bad. I talked to myself and said, let's get it. All day. What you put in the universe is definitely coming back. See, people think that started with The Secret. People think that started with in 2000 and what? Nah, man. People understood the law of attraction back hundreds of years ago, maybe even thousands of years ago. So when you talk about the law of attraction, you put out in the universe exactly what you're getting back, and it may come a different way. It may come a different way. It may come harder than you put it out. You may be, bro, I'm not taking pictures throwing up my middle finger. Well, who I'm middle fingering? Anybody looking at the picture, I'm figuring go show me some love. I'm talking about even if I'm not putting it on social media, I'm saying anybody that see the picture gonna show me some love. If I'm sending it to the homies in the joint, I'm not middle fingering them. What I'm putting up my middle finger for? I'm not never flashing guns in a picture for what? So whoever got a problem with me know I got it on me. What is the whole concept of putting out all this negativity and thinking that it's not gonna come back? Talking to yourself in a negative way and thinking that you're gonna go out and do something positive. It's a complete waste of time. When you look at somebody like, let's say a T.I. T.I. came out, he said, I'm the king of the South. T.I. was 20, 21, whatever years old. He said, man, I'm the king of the South. You had people arguing for Scarface and people saying, no, listen, bro, the man said he the king of the South. What is wrong with him being confident and saying he the king of the South? Jacquees said he the king of R&B. What's wrong with him feeling like that? He do R&B. He do R&B. I watched the interview and they asked LeBron, hey, how do you feel? He said, because I'm the best player in the world. That's why I'm going to do it, because I'm the best player in the world. People like, oh, man, why? Why? He wake up every day, go to the gym and bust his ass. Why can't he say he the best player in the world? Why would he be on a basketball court and thinking anything less than that? If LeBron was on my team and we playing pickup, I'm going to feel like I'm the best player on the team. And LeBron can score 90% of the shots, and I'm going to still feel like I'm the best player on the team. Yeah, LeBron, you was hot today. It'd be my shit tomorrow. Now, I'm going to handle that tomorrow. Tomorrow, you pass it to me because I'm going to be hot. Flat out. Now, that don't mean you don't give credit where it's due. No, I'm gonna say yeah, KD is a great player. KD is one of the best scorers I've ever seen in my life. Man, Steph Curry can really shoot that basketball. He can shoot that basketball from 85 feet. Whoa, that boy can shoot from 85 feet. Oh, he great. But I'm the best player in the world. What are you talking about, man? Y'all letting social media make y'all, it's a difference between being humble and being confident, right? I can be confidently humble. I'm humble. But that don't mean I have to not be confident in myself or my abilities. I can be humble and still be confident, because once you start lacking that confidence, you start messing up, man. You not even delivering at your full potential when you're not confident, because you don't even want to step out of your comfort zone. So now you have these people that are constantly talking down to themselves. Their confidence is in the mud. They feel like wherever they are, it's where they gonna be, and they gonna tell you how to feel about not being there. Every day you have a choice. You're making these decisions. You cannot do whatever you're doing that got you in the position that you're in, but you're mad at me for not doing what you're doing so I can do better. Who has a problem here? Who has the problem? So if you're dealing with some form of survivor's remorse because you got out of the neighborhood and you went and got a job, what's up, Tidy Bo? Because you went and got a good job and you bettered yourself for your family. And now your homies in the hood say, oh man, you don't hang out with us no more. You think you better than us. You said it, I didn't. You said it, I didn't. You don't have to feel like you're better. All you have to feel like is you're different. I'm different. I may be different than I was yesterday. I'm damn sure different than you. I'm different than me yesterday. So if you're in the same position you were in 5, 10, 15 years ago, I'm damn sure different than you. If I'm different than me yesterday, I have to be different than you. I was probably different than you 15 years ago, which led me to this place I'm in now. But it's nothing wrong with being different. The problem is when you don't try to be different and you do everything to fit in. When you do everything to fit in and you still can't sleep at night because you're not comfortable with yourself. When you know you can make a better decision. When you know you could have did something a little better. So you feeling depressed or stressed out about what somebody else is going through, you a fool. I'm not stressed out about what you're going through. If I can help you, I will help you. But I can't be stressed out because of whatever you're going through. Because my life is going to deal me something that I have to deal with. So I have to make sure I have my full strength so I can handle my storm. I have to make sure of that, because if my storm come and it knocked me down, then I have to worry about my woman, my kids, everything that I've built up tumbling down too. So if I don't protect my home as a man, then what can I do? Who can I blame? Who can I turn to? Right? So having survivor's remorse is very unproductive, and it could be detrimental. Right? So you have to come to grips with the fact that you did something right. That you did something right, something for you. If you're doing good, you did something right. Now, it don't mean you can't look at your situation and say, well, what do I need to do better? But you have to come to grips with the fact that you did something right. I got homies doing life in prison. I got homies doing 30 balls that reach out to me. I got people that didn't make it. I got homies who I was with one day and woke up and they wasn't here, bro. Like literally woke up in the morning to 40 missed texts, 40 messages, 40, 30 phone calls, and my niggas ain't here. So I have to live with that. It was something that they did that led to that end. It was something that I did that put me in the position that I'm in to be able to reach out to y'all today and give y'all these type of words, man. That's what I can do. I can talk to my people because I have the platform to talk to my people. It may not be millions of people right now, but I'm going to talk to my people because my people need to hear this. I'm never feeling bad for doing what's right for me. Never. I'm never feeling bad for waking up to my kids every day and not being in somebody's prison or in somebody's grave. I would never do that because I made these decisions. I made the decisions that got me there, and that's what made me realize I can make the decisions that keep me out of there. Because I had a conspiracy case and don't know who my co-defendants is. My co-defendant said co-defendant 1, co-defendant 2. I don't have a clue. So you don't even know who put you in jail. You don't know why you in jail. All you know is you in jail. That Fed case woke my ass up like wide awoke. I'm wide awoke. I don't know who telling on me. It say source of information 1, source of information 2, source of information 3, all the way to 20. Source of information is, and it wasn't even about me. Sources of information didn't even know me for real. So when you dealing with this type of concept and you don't know, you got people that was around the wrong people and ended up in the grave for one reason or another one. You got people who middleman something and didn't make it back home for one reason or another one, whether they went to jail or whether somebody did something to them and they didn't make it back home. Anything can happen, but it's up to you to limit the possibility of you going to somebody's jail or you going to somebody's grave prematurely. But for the people who didn't make those decisions, they had to live with that. And if they're not here, then that's something that they had to take on the chest themselves. Like that's not something that you could have saved or you could have made them make a better decision. That's impossible. You can only do what you can do for you. Now, if people around you and they can take some game and they can ask you some questions and actually implement some of the things that you tell them, then more power to them. But if one thing about me, if I'm doing something, I'm telling the people around me what I'm doing. I'm not ever shooting a move. And then y'all look up and say, man, how you hit that lick? Because anybody around me, I'm saying, look, man, you don't got to put your music on that platform. I can show you how to do it this way. Hey, man, you don't have to do such and such. I can show you this. Look, the street's dead, y'all. I'm going back to school. Dang, Jackpot, you going back? I'm going to school. Man, you tripping. I'm going to school, bruh. So you can do it your way or you can do it my way. But I'm going back to school. So at the end of the tunnel, I'm supposed to feel bad. If I'm telling you, look, let's get up. Let's get in the huddle. Boom, boom, boom. All right, fellas, we're going to get out of here. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, 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 bam. We get out the huddle. Boom. You do something totally different. Like, well, I'm looking what the, man, how you get way over there? This wasn't even that type of play. So now that you doing something different and we thrown off, boom, we come back, bam, whoop, whoop, bam. So they sub you out. Boom. Now I got somebody that actually follow directions. Bam, y'all, we doing boom, 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 boom. It get done. Bam, you on the sideline. Man, I could have did that. No, you should have done that. Because if it costs me to lose the game to appease you, man, you tripping. I will clear out my whole contact list. I will restart a Facebook page, an Instagram, whatever it takes to get rid of the people that I don't need around me in bad energy. I will do it. And if you're not willing to do the same, then I don't want you around me. Because whatever's coming to you, I don't want it coming to me. So when I get on the other side of my win, I'm not looking back and looking at nobody that's losing that was close to me and thinking, oh man, why didn't I? Oh man, I could have. Nah, bro. Nah, I'm giving you the game. You could take the game and roll with me, or you going to be stuck over there and I'm going to be happily over here enjoying my success. And y'all should do the same, man. Y'all should do the same. Don't look back at your neighborhood. Don't look back at your friends. Don't look back at ex-girlfriends. Don't look back at anybody that's stuck in a position that they put themselves in because you got out. You got out. It's no reason for you to be upset. It's no reason for you to feel like it's your fault that they're in that position. That ain't your fault, man. That's not your fault. That is their fault. And until they take full accountability for where they at in life, they gonna be there. You can bet your last dollar that they gonna be there. So you can feel bad all you want to, and you can look crazy, and you could be down on yourself and hindering your progress. Or you can say, man, they doing them, I'm gonna keep doing me, and you turn up to the max, because that's what I'm gonna do. Everything I do, I'm trying to turn up to the max. I ain't keeping up with the Joneses. I don't care what you went and bought. That ain't my thing. I'm looking at everything like the marathon. I'm looking at everything like the marathon, because it's all a marathon. I'm not doing anything to be looked at a certain way today so I can be in jail for 10 years tomorrow. Man, I was stunting on them. I'm not trying to stunt on you. I'm not trying to do none of that. I'm trying to raise these kids. I'm trying to make sure I'm old and gray when they put me in somebody's grave. I don't even want it here. I want to be old and it don't even grow no more. I don't want to leave the earth till I'm that old. I don't even want my hair to grow no more. For real. I'm looking at old ladies 110 years old, still making TikToks. I'm trying to be that. Right? So I'm never going to appease people, and then these same people will leave my kids out here starving while I'm doing 40 years. So how do you supposed to deal with that? I'm like, survivor's remorse. Man, I'm not just surviving, I'm thriving. So I'm supposed to have thriver's remorse? I'm thriving out here. It's a whole world out here. It's a whole world out here. If somebody tell you anything different, they lying to you. It's a whole world out here, and I ain't even touched the tippy top of it. It's a whole world out here. People actually living out here, not social media living, not stunting and fronting living. I ain't saying everybody on but it's full of stunting and fronting, bro. I'm telling you first, here's a bunch of stunting and fronting. I ain't talking about that type of living. I'm talking about really living, like people really living out here, bro. Enjoying life to the fullest, whatever their enjoyment consists of, but they're enjoying life to the fullest. You will be a fool to be down on yourself because what somebody else ain't did. Once again, I ain't gonna keep y'all here all day. Follow me on all social media at Chosen One Jackpot. Thank you if you shared it. Thank you if you tuned in. Thank you if you commented. If anybody want to get on here, we got a whole lot of people not here. It's a whole world. Most definitely, Tidy Bo. You know for sure. Like, you know for sure, man. Like the guys that I'm growing up with and everything, like, man, choices is taking us out. We gotta make good choices. We got to make good choices, and we got to plan for the future. We got to make choices for the future and not for the day. We don't need to be caught up in anything temporary. We don't need to be hustling so we can keep up with the Joneses. We don't need to be on BS so we can look tough. We don't need none of that. We need to think long term and make sure we taking care of these kids, man, because they need us. And Tybo, you got like 20, man. Get off my line. I'll go take care of yours. Y'all, thank y'all for tuning in again.